Okay, so my name is Ben. I am the head of admissions here at DLD. And if you were to join us either in January or September, then I would be one of the first people that you meet at the college, because I will be doing your enrolment and getting you ready and settled and into your timetable as well. So I hope today is the first opportunity to speak to you, and I hope to get to meet you in person either in January or September. So I'm in the college today. It was a beautiful sunny day this morning. It's not so much today, this afternoon, but just to quickly show you our outside area. It's a little bit cloudy and overcast now, but still not too cold or too wintry. Outside you can see we have a multi-surface pitch. We are in the centre of London here. So we don't have the vast, sprawling countrysides you would expect maybe from a traditional boarding school, but we do have our own outdoor area. And of course, our vast countryside is London itself. And if you're to join DLD College, you'll have so many opportunities to go and visit many of the sites around London, which I'll talk about as we go around on the tour today. I'm currently in our global kitchen. And the global kitchen is where, if you're a boarder, you'll have all of your meals included, and this is where you will eat. So we've just coming towards the end of the lunch service now, and I'm going to show you the menus that we have on offer for today. And I'm very passionate about the food here. I love the food at DLD. It's very healthy and balanced, but it's also very varied as well. So as a boarder, you will have your breakfast. You'll have a cooked breakfast or a continental breakfast every day. For lunch, there's always a soup or salad, plus one of 3 man meal options, always a vegetarian option. And then you have the same for your dinner as well, a 3-course meal. But as I mentioned, it's something very varied at all times. And very healthy, balanced food as well. If you have any dietary requirements when you join us, you just need to let us know, and we'll make sure that you're catered for separately for any of those dietary requirements. Now, in addition to the meals that you receive here at DLD, we also have a very Starbucks-style coffee shop. So you have the opportunity to get some soft drinks, some pastries, flapjacks there, brownies, and of course your hot drinks as well. So these are all on site, all within the building, but you're not limited to just eating here. We have lots of restaurants nearby. We're just down the road from an area called Lower Marsh and the South Bank, where there is a wide variety of restaurants available to you. And of course, we're in London. One of the cultural capitals of the world, so you can get all types of food you wish. And for those of you that do like takeaways, of course you can order those in if you'd like those as well, just not too often. Remember, you shouldn't be eating McDonald's every day. Okay, we're going, now I've covered the food, my favourite part, we're going to actually look at the college now, and I have just walked into our atrium. Now, the atrium is the heartbeat of the college. And this is where, now we're back to normal times, we hold all of our big events. So aside from school assemblies, we also have publishers coming during book week. We have a university fair once a year, where you get the opportunity to meet some London-based universities, but also some from further afield, and start getting an idea of what you may want to do when you leave DLD. Hi, John. And we celebrate other things as well, because we're a very international college here. So this month we're celebrating Diwali, for example. We celebrate Chuseok, Korean Chuseok, and all of the major cultural events throughout the globe. We celebrate here in the various forms. And as you look around the college, you can see that we've got all of these flags. Lots and lots of flags here. So these flags represent all of the different nationalities we have at DLD. We have 322 students on roll at the moment, and we have 56 different nationalities in total. Now, a third of the students, well, actually 28% of the students that we have on roll are British domestic students, and the other 72% are international. So of the 55 nationalities, we have, of the 56 different nationalities, 28% are domestic, and then the rest are international. And there's no kind of dominant nationality here. We have small numbers of all of those other 55 nationalities, which means it's a really lovely, diverse, hi Maria, lovely, diverse community here, really nice, open community. And you get the opportunity to meet lots of different people from around the world, which is what you're going to do when you go to university as well. Now, if we look up, you may be able to see those windows up there. So that ceiling there is where the college stops and the boarding begins. So everything at DLD is self-contained in one place, and the boarding house is above the college. That means that you're in a really safe and secure environment in the heart of London, but also it's very, very easy for you as a student to be able to get to class on time, and you have plenty of time in the morning to get dressed, have your breakfast, and be prepared for your school day. And as I mentioned, my colleague Elisa will be showing you around the boarding shortly when she joins the call. There are 15 floors of boarding upstairs, and of the 322 students on roll, 180 of them live in boarding upstairs. So we have about 60% of students who are boarders here. The other 40%, many of them are the British domestic students who are fairly local to the college. But we also have some international students living with family as well. So there's a bit of a mix there. One of the questions I often get asked is there a split between the boarders and the day students? And I can confirm absolutely not, because we are all one community here. You may be involved, aside from your lessons, you'll be involved in academic societies and the co-curricular program, and you'll mix not only with the boarders and the day students together, but you'll also be mixing with other year groups. And as I say, we're part of one family here. So it really is a lovely, really diverse environment here. Okay, we are going to head up the stairs now. And as we go up, you'll see some of our results from last year. So if you're on here and you're interested in GCSEs, you can see these are our results from GCSE last year. 22% of our students got a 9, 62% 9 to 7. And then up here to our A levels, we're very, very proud of these results as well. 56% of our students are achieving A stars and A's. And you also may be looking for an international foundation program. And here are the results from them too. Now, we do offer BTECs here. As most of the attendees today are international, BTEC is maybe something that's new for you. We offer a BTEC in business or a BTEC in creative digital media production. I won't talk in too much detail about that unless you have specific questions about it. But I understand that most of you will be interested in the A levels, GCSEs, or the International Foundation. Okay, I'm going to head up the stairs now and onto this floor here. It's all offices on this floor. So our principal is situated on this office, as well as our academic vice principal, our pastoral vice principal, our head of boarding as well, and myself. So we have all of these different roles in place because the level of support is not just about your teachers. You have support across the college in various aspects, whether it be pastoral, academic, university applications as well. And again, I will talk a little bit more about that as we go around the college. But effectively, this floor is only offices. So although the college, if you ever get to come and visit, you have a chance to visit for a tour, a face-to-face tour, you'll turn up at the college and you'll think, what a huge building. And yes, it is because of the accommodation upstairs. However, the college itself is set over these 3 floors here. And these 2 floors we're going on to now are predominantly where the classes are held. There are 55 classrooms in the college in total. And the average class size is around 8 to 10 students in a class. Now, we do go up to 16 in a class as a maximum, and some subjects may nearly hit that amount. The subjects that are really popular here, aside from your maths and sciences, business is really popular, economics is very popular, art is overwhelmingly popular at DLD, and I look forward to showing you the art department as well. So we do have some classes that will push up to the maximum class size, but on average, we're looking at around 8 to 10 in a class. Now, just to give you a quick snapshot of where some of our students have gone on to. These were the destinations of students in 2020. So you can see here that we've had students go on to King's College London, Imperial, medicine at UCLan, University of Central Lancashire, but we've also had students go on to further afield destinations like the University of Southern California. We've had students go over to Canada as well, and you'll be supported with that. If you wanted to go further afield outside of the UK, we have staff here. Our head of UCAS is very experienced in not only UK applications, but also American and Canadian applications as well. One of the questions I often get asked is how many of your students go to Russell Group universities. So if you're not aware of what the Russell Group universities are, they are one of these 24 universities, which are considered the top universities in the UK. So in terms of our students, 43% of our students went on to Russell Group universities last year, but we have 57% of students that didn't. And they haven't gone to lesser universities, they've just gone to universities which suit them. So for example, art is one of our extremely popular subjects here, and a lot of our students go on to the University of Arts or Goldsmiths, and students that study media may go on to the University of Bournemouth, which is one of the best universities in the UK for media. So if you were to join us, one of the most important things is to know is that whatever your ambition, we will support you to get you to where you want to go and where you need to go. If you're looking for a Russell Group university, we will help you get there or support you to get there. If you're looking to go to the University of Arts or the University of Bournemouth, we'll support you and help you get there. If you're looking to go to Oxford or Cambridge, we will do everything we can to get you there, but you have to work extremely hard as well. And I'll talk a bit more about that when we're discussing the academic societies. But first, I would like to show you our art department. Before we do that, I will show you our library. Small, humble library here, but importantly, the way you learn at DLD, we're quite progressive in the way students learn here. So you will do, a lot of your materials will be online on our platform called Canvas. And Canvas is, I'm just going to see if there's anyone in here. Okay, I'm going to take a seat for a second. Canvas is our online platform. And so what teachers do is either they will send all of the materials for the whole term and place it on Canvas at the start of the term for you to access as a student, or they may add the materials on a weekly basis. With those materials, you can download the information, you store it on Canvas anyway, you can annotate the information, and you will upload all of your homework to Canvas as well. Also, importantly, your milestone tests, which you take on a half-termly basis, they will be, the results of the milestone test will be placed onto Canvas as well, so you can track your progress. And with the milestone tests, you will be focusing each half-term on the materials that you've studied in that previous half-term, but they will also pick up some more topics from previous terms as well, to make sure that your knowledge and understanding is still there. The most positive thing and biggest advantage of using Canvas as the main source of your materials is that when you come to revise for your exams, everything is in one place. You do not have to find bits of paper here and there or lots of different textbooks to be able to revise. It's all there. It's all there for you, at the click of a button. So it makes everything really nice and easy for you. And DLD is all about that. It's about making everything as convenient as possible for you so you can focus on what you want to do, which ultimately is to go to university, or in some cases, go straight into the world of work. Okay, I mentioned the art department, so that's where we're going to go to right now. Please do ask questions if you have any as we go round. So, art. On the walls here is all of the students' artwork. And yeah, nothing is bought in. It's all the students done a fantastic job of decorating the art department here. And I mentioned about the different types of support that we have here at DLD. We have pastoral support. So if you're having any challenges as a student and you need extra support pastorally, we are there to help you. But also we like to commend students for fantastic work. And this is a perfect example of that. This is our visual artwork of the month. This was done by one of our Year 12 students. This changes every month. And as I mentioned, we like to celebrate great work and great achievement. So this is a fantastic example of that. We'll have a quick look in one of the art rooms now. So there are two art rooms in at DLD, art studios, let's say, and they are suitably messy, which is really important for an art studio. We don't want it to be too clinical or too tidy. There are students in here right now, but I won't put the camera on them. And the other art studio is just in here as well. As we go round, you can see there's plenty of students' artwork on the walls here. And art is not just about art and design at DLD. The faculty itself, we also offer graphic communication as one of our, hi Jonathan, as one of our A-levels. So the digital art, and again, this is students' artwork on the walls here. And we also offer photography as well as an A-level. And hi, Virginia, I won't put the camera on you. I'm just going to show the shoot studio. Thank you. So yeah, this is the shoot studio here in use right now by one of our students. And so if you're doing photography, then you'll be using this studio, but you don't have to be studying photography to use the facilities here. Thank you. Thanks, Virginia. You don't, yeah, as I say, you don't need to be studying the subject to use the facilities. They are open to everyone. The photography on our wall here is also done by the students. And we also offer a foundation program in fashion management as well. So it's a big art department here at DLD, something that we really celebrate and really focus on. Now we're in this part of the building here, which is our, Gareth, which is our Wellbeing Center. So this is a bit of a study area for students that are working on group projects. And it's really designed for group work because we have quiet study areas around the building. But it's our Wellbeing Center, so it's a bit of a go-to area pastorally for students as well. So we have our head of Co-Curricular and Sport, who sits here, Sean. We also have our head of Wellbeing. We have a college nurse who's here 5 days a week, and our college counsellor, Emily, who's here 4 days a week. So if you were to join us and you were finding your time here challenging, then we have that pastoral support around here to assist you. Now, you can see these lockers down here, and I'm not going to talk too much about them, but I think it's important to mention them because last year I gave a webinar with our student council, which was about two new students who are joining DLD in September. And from the hour-long webinar that we held, we spent 40 minutes talking about lockers. Now, I'm not going to spend 40 minutes talking about lockers now, because that would be so boring, but I'm going to sum up the kind of questions that were asked. So at DLD, you don't get your own locker. You can use any locker around the building. Again, it's for convenience purposes, so you can move your things around between classes. You just put your own code in here, you lock it, and you can leave things overnight because we've got 24-hour security on site. So it's a really nice, secure building here. The lockers are color-coded as well. There's red, blue, and green for your convenience. One thing I would say is if you join us, please don't forget the number that you use, the locker number that you use, because it will be very difficult to find your things again once it's in there. That was 40 minutes into 40 seconds. Okay, and as we walk down this corridor here, we've got media and film is down here. And I'm going to show you an example of one of our classrooms when I can find an empty one. Again, I'm not going to show you every classroom in the building because you'll be very bored, and there's 55 of them. But here is an example of one of our classrooms. What you will see, the current school that you're studying, and many other schools you may look at. But this is where media takes place. As I mentioned, average class size, 8 to 10. So there's plenty of space here. And all of the classrooms come with an interactive whiteboard, a standard whiteboard. So when the teachers are teaching, they'll likely be using the interactive whiteboard using Canvas as well. So media is very popular, film studies is very popular. We have over 20 A levels here. So some additional A levels that you would expect, but also some that maybe not all schools will be offering, like film studies. All of the rooms are, they have a number on. So if you were to join, you will find your way around very easily. If it's got a 1 at the front, it means it's on the first floor. If it's got a 2 on the front, it's the second floor. And even numbers are on one side and odd numbers are on the other. That's very detailed at this stage, but just so you're aware, although it's a big building, you find your way so easily once you're here. And you soon become very comfortable within the environment. Now, I mentioned that we have the Wellbeing Center, which is used for group study, but we also have quiet study areas around the building as well. And they are in the form of these booths. Students can pick up any space in any of the study areas, and it's really useful for you because you will have some free periods during your week where you're going to need a quiet space to study. If you're in boarding, you can go up to your rooms to study, but if you prefer to be in the college, the quiet study spaces are there for you as well. In terms of your school day, the school day begins at 8:45 a.m. and you'll finish at 3:55, your lessons. And then co-curricular and academic societies will take place after this time. For each A level that you study, if you choose A levels, you'll have 5 hours and 15 minutes per subject. So if you're doing 4 A levels, which we would recommend to start with, you will have over 20 hours of study per week. And if you're doing 3 A levels, you'll have just over 15 hours, which means you do have some independent study periods during that time. I'm not allowed to call them free periods because the message is you should be using that time wisely to make sure you're making the most of your studies and achieving what is your full potential. If you are a day student, then you finish at 2 p.m, then you are free to leave the college. But if you have an academic society or a co-curricular activity, you will be expected to attend those. And most students do 1 or 2 activities per week. I'll tell you a little bit more about the academic societies and co-curricular. So there is a difference. Hiya. Co-curricular is your hobbies. So you saw the outside area that we have earlier. As I mentioned, it's quite a small space, so we use other facilities nearby. But the sports that we offer here Amazingly, we offer 7 different sports. We offer football, basketball, netball, yoga, boxing, strength and conditioning, and fencing at DLD. Lots of different things you can get involved in. You're not going to be forced to do a sport, but it's good for the body, good for the mind. It can help you focus. So we'd strongly encourage it. But there are other activities available as well. So if you're not into sports, you could get involved in chess club, the debating society, the Dungeons and Dragons Society. There's so many things going on, and they're your hobbies. But then we have your academic societies as well, and they're slightly different. So academic societies are available for all subjects that we offer. And if you're looking to do economics at London School of Economics, then you're going to be very strongly encouraged and to join that society, because it's going to be really beneficial to you. Some of the academic societies are very much just for the students studying those subjects, and some academic societies are open to all. And I'll give you an example. If you're studying maths at A-level, you're likely to join the Maths Academic Society. But if you're not studying maths, one, you're probably not going to want to join the Maths Society. I certainly wouldn't have done when I was doing A-levels. But two, it's really only open for maths students. The way the Maths Society works is we enter students into UK-wide competitions, because it's fantastic for their academic profile when applying to university. And we actually have one student that's reached the finals here, who's started with us at GCSE and now is doing maths in A-level. And then the second half of the year in the Maths Society is focused on surgeries. So what the teachers and students will identify what they need real help with to be able to get the best grade they can. And that's because it's maths, and maths is very black and white in terms of the answers that are needed for that level of success. However, something like the Film and Media Society is very much open to everyone. And there's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is there's not many people that say, I hate films. Most people have an interest in some type of films. And, you know, if you ask the question, what's your favorite film? Then most people have an answer for that, or at least a couple of answers for that. So it's something that's interesting for all. It's fantastic for the students studying film and media, but for other students, they may just want to gain more knowledge or understanding of the subject. An example of the Film and Media Society recently is we had a talk from a gentleman who is in the UK, but he works for Disney, and he creates and designs those Funko Pop action figures, the little action figures with the big heads, and he's working on the latest Disney princess. Now, when he gave his talk, which was virtual, and it was in this room, which I'll show you in a second, when he gave his talk, he wasn't looking at what the students were studying each week and saying, I need to cover this from the curriculum, or I need to talk about this. He just talked. He talked about his experiences. He talked about how he got into working at Disney, what he enjoys about working at Disney, and what he wants to do in the future. And the great thing about that is it gives students that are studying it a better, well-rounded understanding of the subject. But also, hopefully, it gives those students a little bit of inspiration as well, and some ideas of what they may want to do in the future. Now, that academic society took place in this room here. This looks like pretty much like a normal classroom, really, except there are some nice, colourful chairs, which are actually very comfortable. And it's also the biggest screen in the college. So aside from the gentleman from Disney giving a talk to our students, we've had guest lecturers come here and virtually give talks as well, because some of them may be based at some of the top US universities. And it's also used for student presentations as well. As you can see, it's getting dark outside now. We are right in the centre of London, and when you go up to the boarding house with Alice, she'll give you a view of London. Hopefully you can still see it and it's not too dark. But yes, we are on Westminster Bridge and on the South Bank. So if you've seen the London Eye during the fireworks displays, we are 5 minutes away. If you know the Houses of Parliament, we are just on the other side of the bridge. You can see the Houses of Parliament from our entrance. So we're right there in the middle. And as mentioned, London is very much our vast fields that you would find at a traditional boarding school. So whether you're studying art or business or history, you've got all of these opportunities around you to tap into. You can go and visit the museums, you can go to the galleries. There's some fantastic restaurants around here too. And everything's within a kind of 15-minute travel time. The other thing is you're going to be studying here in boarding, and there's other academic things you can do as well. So we have universities near us. We've got King's College London, very, very close to us. We also have the London School of Economics, very close to us. And the London School of Economics offers free lectures every night of the week. So if you really wanted to, if you were that diligent, you could go and attend a free lecture every single night of the week after your studies. So we're not going to expect you to stay in every night. We want you to go out and experience London as well. That's really, really important to us. But make sure you use those independent study times during the day to get all of your work done first. Okay, we're going to move around and I'm going to show you the maths departments. And then we're going to go through to the science department. So as I mentioned, maths is one of the most popular subjects here at DLD. We offer maths both at GCSE and at A-level as well. And we've also got an international foundation program in maths and computer science as well. So it's a really popular subject. And students do very well here. Very, very, very well here. And ultimately they get to where they want to go and achieve their main ambitions, and we help them get there. This part of the college is a really important part for all international students. Academic English. So if you were to join us, it's very likely that you will either have sat an Ielts exam already, or you have a certain level of English assessed, whether that be Ielts or OPT. And when you join us, you will need a prerequisite English level. So if you're doing A-levels, you would be expected to have a 5.5 in Ielts. And that's the kind of the minimum level you need to be able to really do well at A-levels here. However, when you come here, you want to enhance your English language, which you will do because you're in such a mixed environment and you're obviously being taught in English, but you also need a specific Ielts grade to be able to go to university as well. And we help with that. So most subjects at degree level will need a 6.5 in Ielts. Some more competitive subjects may need something higher, if you're looking at medicine, for example. But we will help you get that grade, and we are an Ielts test centre here as well. So what would happen is if you were to join us, you would have Ielts timetabled into your timetable, the academic English. And you will continue to study that until you get the certification that you need to be able to get onto the course you want to go to at university. That is really important for you, and you can be very safe in the knowledge to know that you're going to get that support and those lessons to help you achieve that. And once you've got it, you can drop it after that. Or if you want to continue, which you may want to, our teachers are fantastic here. If you want to continue doing Ielts, you absolutely can. But once you've got the grade you need, you can drop. Okay. As we continue to walk through the corridors here, there are more study spaces. We also have our own IT department here as well. Very important because you will be using Canvas and Teams as well. So if you have any trouble, IT are on hand to help you so you don't miss any of the work. And here we have our science labs, and I will take you into one of our biology labs to give you a flavour of what to expect. Here is one of our biology labs, and you can see everything is very shiny and new. And the reason for that is, although DLD has been around for 90 years now, we've only been in this building for 6. Because the building is only 6 years old. And that really plays into the culture and the atmosphere here at DLD College. The building is really fresh, new, progressive, and that really plays into what we're all about. We, as a culture here, it's a very liberal environment, it's a very modern and progressive environment, and it's also quite an adult environment. We'll have a look at the college from up on this floor shortly, and it does have a university feel here. So if you're looking for a school where it is a bit more adult, then DLD might be the right one for you, because we're preparing you for your next stages in life. Ultimately, you are a young adult, and we want to treat you that way. So there's no uniform at DLD. The teachers are all, you can call them all by their first names, and that goes all the way up to our head. And we want to get you ready for either university or the world of work. That's not to be misunderstood. We don't want you to think this is a place where you can run free, because you can't. But we have some very simple rules here at DLD. The first one is to attend your classes. Sounds very simple, but that's the first rule that you need to do. Number 2 is contribute in class, as you should. Number 3 is to complete all of the work associated with what you do and attend your academic societies. And number 4, and the most important thing at all, thing that you need to know, is that you need to achieve what is your full potential. Now, your full potential may be 3 A's at A level. You should be getting that. If it's 4 A stars, you should be getting that. If it's 3 B's, you should be getting that. If you're looking to go to Bournemouth University to study media, you should be getting there. And we'll help you and support you all the way to get where you want to go. Now, if you're looking to go to somewhere like Oxford or Cambridge, that's a challenge, and we will do everything we can to support you, but it is a challenge. So we have a specific society for those students who wish to go to Oxford or Cambridge. We've got 7 students who have applied to Oxford and Cambridge this year, and they are now going through the process of their application, making sure their UCAS statements are ready, taking the entry tests, and we will prepare you for that. But very importantly, if any of you on this webinar today are looking to go to an Oxford and Cambridge, make sure you are reading. That is the first question you will be asked by our head of UCAS, who's also a politics teacher and Oxford graduate himself. Ask you, what are you reading? And if you're not reading anything, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to go to Oxford and Cambridge. You need to work really hard and focus on that subject you want to apply for at one of those universities. Now, although it's hard, it doesn't mean it's unachievable. And if that's where you're looking to go, just make sure you really focus on that and look to get there as and when you can. Now, I'm going to just take a seat in the E-Hub because I think Alice has just joined us, and I'm going to pass you over to her because she is in our boarding house. Hello, Alice.
Hi, yeah,
How are you?
Not bad. So
Good.
we are, at the moment, I'll switch the camera and show you around the boarding room.
Before you do, Alice, I'm just going to say I'm going to hide my video now, but once Alice has finished the tour of the boarding, then we'll have some time for Q&A if you wish to ask any questions. But as mentioned before, if you have any questions in the meantime, please do feel free to put them in the chat box. I will speak to you shortly.
So we are currently in boarding house, and this one is a single room. So most of our rooms are like this. They could be a bit different. Their bed could be located on the different sides. It could be a bit wider, a bit shorter, but the main idea of the room will be the same. So we have also bigger rooms. I won't be able to show them to you today because we have them all occupied with students in, and we do have twin rooms, as well, which are actually the same rooms, two of them next to each other, with the moving wall between them. So students can share the working space, but the sleeping space will be separate all the time. So if they want to share the working space, they can open the wall. If they want to work on their own, they can close the wall. So the main difference between rooms, there will be two students sharing a bathroom, one in single rooms, and premier rooms, you have a bathroom in your room. So we have 211 rooms in the boarding house, and over 150 of them will be single rooms. So most of our rooms are like that. And we are currently on 17th floor, which is the highest floor we have. So down there is the college, and in front of us is the university students accommodation. That's a different part of the building. We have window also that could be opened, and it's very safe, as you can see, but you can get some fresh air in the room. And you have always a desk in the room, a chair, drawers, big drawers under the bed. So for anything students need to keep there, some shelves, and small cupboards, and a bigger cupboard for student belongings. So that's what we have in the room. And then we are providing students with bed linen, duvets, pillows, and towels. And we can provide them with new ones on a weekly basis, but if they need more often, it's fine. They can always speak with the house parents and get whatever they need. They have heating under the floor, so they can regulate the temperature here, so they can choose any temperature regime they like. And they have bathroom on site in the room. So that's how it looks like. It's not very big, but very nicely looking and in the room. The cleaners are coming on a weekly basis. So once a week, to clean the floors, to clean the bathroom fully. So students don't need to worry about that, but they are not allowed to touch desk or shelves or any cupboards, as that's all personal belongings. We do always encourage students to bring something from home to make it more homely, and put some lights around the room or some nice pictures on the walls. So that's all allowed, and we do encourage that. So I'm moving now to the common room, which is a shared space on each floor. And then while I'm moving there, I'll tell you about the boarding in general. So we have 15 floors in the boarding house. Boys and girls separately, only girls floors and only boys floors, and they're not allowed on each other floors. And we have 4 house parents living in the building. The head of boarding lives here as well, and vice principal pastoral lives here as well. So you have support and help 24/7. So house parents are working all the time. During the day, they will be found on their desk, and at night they're on call all the time. So I'm switching cameras. So at the moment we are on 17th floor common room, which is a shared space where students can spend their time. And this one is used. So we have 13 students on this floor. So obviously it is a bit messy, sorry for that. But you can see the view. So there's a Waterloo station just next to the building, and then a view to South London, Shard there, and the river there. And we have one common room on each floor. So it is decorated accordingly to the student's age and gender. So it could be more board games for boys, like table football, for example, or PlayStations could be on the floors as well. For girls, there could be more crafts or books or stuff like that, but it depends on students as well. So they usually have meetings and decide what they would like to have in the common room. We do have fridge and freezer here, so they can keep their own food here. And freezer like that, so it's quite massive. But they are provided with 3 meals downstairs in the refectory, common global kitchen. So if they miss a meal in the global kitchen, or if they suddenly want a snack during the night, for example, studying hard, then obviously they can go to the kitchen. We are providing to common room, we are providing them with some bread, milk, jam, honey, fruit, so they can have a snack, or they can use their own food. We have microwaves here and dishwashers as well. So cleaners cleaning this space 4 times a week. So the students just need to keep it clean after themselves, but all the general cleaning is done by cleaners. So I'm going to tell you a bit about the rules in the boarding house. And what we have here, we are considering students as mature and grown-ups, so we're trying to trust them as much as possible. It means that we don't have lights off or Wi-Fi off for nights, and they have quite relaxed curfews, I would say. So what the rules are, the morning registration during the week is with the teachers in the college. During the weekends, it will be 11 a.m. So by 11 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday, we expect all the students to come downstairs to say hi to the house parents. And in the evenings, for students under 16, the curfew is 9:30 every day, and younger students are not allowed out on their own. We expect them to go out in groups of 2 or 3. So after the school day, there is a compulsory study for under 16s and the ones doing GCSE course. So they will be studying from 7 till 8, but then they will have an hour if they want to go out for shopping or anything, or a walk. They are allowed to, but they need to go out in a group of at least 3 students. All the students are allowed out on their own. So the curfew for them will be 10 o'clock during the week, and Friday and Saturday night it will be 11. So I think it's quite late, but they are enjoying London. So they're going to cinemas, theatres, a lot of opportunities here. So obviously they can do that all. When they are signing out, we are not tracking them, but they do need to put their destination for us to understand where they could be in case if something happens in the city, in case if there are any traffic issues, for us to know that they could be late and how long could it take for them to get back. We are allowing students to sign out for weekends, for overnights, but they need to stay with someone over 25, and we will request all the papers we need for these, and we need to receive them at least 3 days before the weekend, and then it all can be sorted and approved. We are open most of the year, so we are closed during the Christmas holidays and summer holidays only. All other half terms and Easter holiday, we are open and happy to have students in the boarding house. There are a lot of activities for them during the half terms and holidays. There are a lot of activities during the rest of the year as well, especially on the weekends, but like usually in the evenings, they have something as well. So the Atrium, I'm absolutely sure Ben showed you the Atrium. So the Atrium, they turn for kind of like massive living room during the evenings. So they put the table tennis and pool table, and they're playing PlayStation all together, watching movies, using a huge wall as a screen, and doing karaoke and all the fun stuff. Quizzes and so on. But obviously they do have trips as well over the weekends and at the evenings sometimes. We don't have any compulsory trips, so it's all up to the students. They can choose to stay in the boarding and study, or they can choose to go somewhere. And very often we do organize the trips what students wanted to do. So if a few students will say, like, we want to go to see Hamilton, for example, it will be organized and they will have opportunity to go where they want. We're listening what they want to say, what they want to do. It's really important for us for them to be happy. We do have huddles in the boarding house. It means we have 4 boarding houses, so each house parent is having one huddle, which are a few floors together, like close age students spending time together and organizing clubs and trips and so on. We do have head of huddles, student head of huddles, what they're applying for as a proper job. So they do have interviews. They need to prove that they can help the house parents to do that. So it's a very good row on the personal statement. Well, shows that they are able to take some responsibilities as well. And all the students can say whatever they would like to improve in the boarding house, and we're always listening to what they're saying. The house parents are absolutely incredible. They do work for us for many years and know students really well. A lot of students are staying with us for 4 or 5 years, starting from academic preparation course and up to the end of their courses, whatever it is, A-levels or IFP. So we are trying to include them in the boarding family and help them as much as we can. So even if we are considering students as grown-ups and matures, we are always watching them closely to understand, to catch the right moment when any help needed. So obviously, as we don't have lights off, it could be some students staying late at night, but the house parents are very, so they will watch during the morning. If any of them are sleepy or tired visually or late for their lessons, they will have a chat with the house parents and they will have a strategy to improve their sleeping patterns. If they have any sleeping issues, there will be a sleeping practitioner to help with that. And that's, I would say, it's the same for any area of well-being. So we do have nurse here as well. So if students are feeling unwell during the week, they can go and see the nurse. And during the weekends, all the house parents are first aiders, but we also do have St. Thomas's Hospital just across the road, so 5 minutes away. So if something more serious happens, we can go to A&E there, and there will be help in case if needed. We have, so I told about cleaning, we have laundry service as well. There are washing machines downstairs where students can use if they want to do that on their own, but we do have professional laundry service as well. It will be for additional fees, so you can choose that when you are booking the room, and then the professional laundrettes will come and collect the laundry once a week and return next day clean and nice. I think that's mainly everything about boarding.
Okay, thank you very much, Alice. And you answered one of the questions that have been sent through about the laundry. Yeah, so with the laundry, there's a choice. Either you can take the laundry service for an extra fee, or you can do it yourself. if that's what you prefer. I know what I would prefer, someone else doing it. Okay, so thank you very much, Alice. That was great. Are there any questions at all? Give you a couple of minutes to type anything you may wish to ask. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like I said at the start, very humbled that you've taken your time out to listen to us and allow us to show you around what we think is our beautiful college. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. Are there any questions at all? Okay, while you're giving you the opportunity to type any questions, in terms of the application process, please send through your applications if you do wish to apply. Once we've received your application with a copy of your latest school report and your passport, we will then arrange an interview. That interview will be with a member of the academic team. And when I say interview, it's not as scary as that. It's very much a discussion to find out what subjects you want to do, and to make sure that DLD is the right fit for you, and to make sure you're making the right choices for your future. Once the interview has taken place, then you'll then receive an offer, and it's up to you to accept then. And like I said earlier, we've met virtually today, but I certainly hope we do get to meet you in January or September face to face as well. Alice, we have a question about boarding. So from Lalida, thank you very much for your question, Lalida. This Christmas, boarding is closed for all students.
Yeah, this is correct. The boarding will be closed over these Christmas holidays. So our advice would be for students to travel home or stay here with the guardians or the relatives. So this could be approved, or we can try and help to find out the homestay for students if they wish to stay in the UK. We can discuss that on an email if you would like to.
Okay, thanks, Alice. Yes.
Sorry, Ben, I need to add that students can leave all their belongings in the rooms. So we don't ask them to remove anything from the rooms. It will be the same rooms after Christmas holidays, but the building will be closed.
Yeah, and just to add to that, obviously, we've had a very difficult couple of years. So we are here, and that's myself and Alice and our office, which is effectively student services. We're there to assist students and support students. So if there are any unforeseen circumstances like the pandemic that we've all suffered in the last couple of years, we're there to support you. Okay, another anonymous attendee. Are visitors allowed in even if they are not related to any of the students? I assume that's into boarding.
So we have in college there are visitors allowed. In boarding house there are no visitors allowed at all. Not day students, not parents, not guardians. So parents and guardians can visit twice a year on the first and last day of the academic year. During all the other time of the year, there are no visitors in the boarding at all. That's our safeguarding policy. So for the college is a bit different. So visitors are allowed there, obviously, for different reasons. And after the school day, the boarders are allowed to bring in their friends or relatives in the college, so to the Atrium or Global Kitchen, to have some nice time with them and show around as well, but not in the boarding house.
Thanks, Alison. Yeah, just to add to that, it's all about student safety for us. So we feel we've got a really good balance here at DLD, whereas some of the more traditional schools may have what Alice mentioned: the lights out, the Wi-Fi out, stricter curfews. We've got the later curfews because we want you to experience London, and as I said before, we want to treat you as a young adult that you are. But also, and I think your parents would appreciate this as well, is that safety does trump everything. It's all about your safety, which is why we have that 24-hour security on site, as well as the 4 house parents living on site, and staff members like Alice who do boarding shifts a couple of times a week as well. So yeah, we've got the right balance here, we think. Any other questions, please? Okay. If there are no other questions, just like to say thank you very much for attending today. If you do have any questions after this, please do feel free to get in touch. We'll be in touch with you anyway, following up the webinar. But yeah, any other questions which you may think of after, please do get in touch. And thank you so much for attending. Take care. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.